Welcome, wonderful person, to Superhero Energy Tools. This is where I share with you the actual tools that you can use to be not only superhero-like, but actual superhero. And it's time right now. Everyone on the planet needs to know how to work with the energy that made the world, the energy that moves the world, and we can do it. We are not alone in this universe. We are not by ourselves. We are not being acted on by things outside our control. What we're doing is we're interfacing in relationship, and these superhero energy tools are designed to help you know what I have come to know, that we are interrelated, and nothing would serve the universe more and all the great forces of the heavens and the earth that exist right now than to allow us to move with it, to allow us to be able to direct it, to command with loving authority, to let the universe and the forces of existence mirror to us what we say, to serve us for our highest and healthiest healing. Really, our highest and healthiest healing. It's just time. So this superhero energy tool is called the Weather Gods. And I have been working with what I call the weather gods for decades and decades, probably as a child. And the weather, the forces of the weather are an amazing, amazing conglomeration of elements, of power, of Mother Earth. And they are not without consciousness, but it's not the type of consciousness that punishes or rewards. It's a much more subtle energy kind of consciousness. And we have subtle energy consciousness within us. And the subtle energy world is more that energy of feeling, of intuition, of knowing, of that deep connection. Because whatever love is, it is not of the body and the mind, but oh boy, the body and the mind can enjoy it. So I want to share what I do when I would like some weather to go the way that I would prefer it. First thing I do is I check in with myself and I know, what do I want to experience in this world that having a certain type of weather would facilitate the positive experience of it to my mind, my liking. There's always an element of surrender in this. You know, I always will say that when working with greater forces, especially the weather, that we surrender to a greater power because so many people are affected by the weather, not just us. So first thing I do is I imagine the scene the way I would like it. I imagine the scene with whether it's sunny or rainy or snowy or warm or cold or cloudy, whatever it might be, because all of those things I want sometimes. And then I imagine how that would heighten the experience and bring me more joy in the people I'm with joy, while not affecting anyone in a negative way, because I've had experiences where I think that might have happened too. So this most recently happened to me. I was going on a date in a town on a Sunday morning, and I was meeting this beautiful man at 9:30 in the morning, and there was supposed to be snow in the area until 9. And I thought of those crazy Hallmark movies and all of the romantic comedies, and I talked to the weather guides. I connected in, and I thought it would be so amazing if it could snow. The flurries could just flurry without sticking until maybe noon or 1 o'clock. So I imagined that scene. I imagined walking into the cafe, and I imagined walking around the town with the snowflakes. And then I talked to the weather god. So I opened up myself to the forces of the water that crystallizes and the clouds and the wind. And I just talked in my heart, and I said, if it's in the highest and healthiest healing, and if no one will be harmed, I would love that snow forecast, those flurries to extend to 1 o'clock. And I always use my 2 fingers when I'm doing it to extend, or whatever it is. It's just what I use. I mean, I could tell you, you can try it. It can't hurt. And so I did that. Within 1 hour, the weather forecast had changed to be flurries through 1 to 2 p.m. And as I walked into that cafe, I looked up into the skies as the snowflake was coming down. Have you done that? Have you looked up and seen those, seems like millions and thousands of snowflakes coming down? And I said, thank you, thank you. And the experience of walking around the town with those fluffy white snowflakes that really didn't stick on the road, I don't think anyone was harmed, was a beautiful experience for me of the relationship that the weather can mirror for us. It served the experience. It was romantic. It was beautiful. It was delightful. And so I'll tell you, interface with the weather gods. But one thing I will caution you about, and of course, use your best judgment. There was a time about 20 years ago that I went to Arizona, went to Sedona, and went to one of the vortexes. And they were in a big drought in Arizona, such as Arizona. And I got this rock that represented balance and went up to one of the vortexes and chanted to bring water to the land. Well, I will tell you what happened, believe it or else. This is what happened. Within a day, and I left later that day or the next day, within a day, there was a weather system that came through Arizona, and there was a deluge for days and days. And it flooded the whole area, and people died and children died. Now, was I responsible for that? I don't know. I don't really know. But it really sobered me to the fact that how could I know that something greater? I was stepping in the place of this Savior that knows more. And so that's why I say step in. How can this experience enliven you? And if it without harm to yourself or others, because there is a greater plan and we are part of it and we can help author it. So thank you for joining me today on Superhero Energy Tools, and know that you and the weather gods or goddesses or forces or spirits or whatever you want to call it can be friends, and that these amazing forces of the world want to serve our highest and healthiest happiness. Love and blessings to your powerful superhero.